You got ABC News, the anchor there getting caught on TMZ, undercover, hidden cameras saying he doesn't think he can last 4 years. You got George Clooney with a New York Times op-ed hitting the tape. Hours after Nancy Pelosi says he needs to make a decision. Well, Nancy, he made a decision. You just don't like the decision. So now you're telling him he needs to make a different decision. You have all the party bigwigs coming out against him. You got Abigail Disney, for goodness sakes, saying she's not going to donate another dime to the Democrat Party until they get rid of Joe Biden. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you got the delegates going on CNN, which has led this crusade, interestingly enough. This Biden delegate says, they have to get rid of him. They have to get rid of him or else. Take a look.
Yes. So, essentially, if Biden ends up running, potentially the Democrats could lose the Senate, the House, and the White House. And it's going to be a bloodbath. The blue states that we have held for many decades might potentially turn red. Trump is doing well when he runs against Biden in those states. And then the swing states, the battleground states, they are looking terrible. So at this point, all the polling indicates that Trump is going to win. So we need to send the best and the brightest out there to run against Trump. He's beatable, but we need to send somebody who's got the energy of a commander-in-chief. Here in Silicon Valley, we have had great leaders and companies thrive because of good leaders. At this point, it's debatable if Biden can lead our nation. Carrying the nuclear football is a huge deal. And we're not sure right now if Biden is going to be able to do his job.
That's a delegate. Okay, that's part of the Electoral College. They're turning on him, for goodness sakes. And they're really not supposed to, right? Because those 3,900 votes have already been pledged, as Biden keeps making a big point to remind us of. They've been pledged. And yet, a new model from The Economist predicts Donald Trump will rack up 310 electoral votes out of the 270 that he needs to win. So he's going to win those and then some. 310 compared with an expected 228 for Biden. When the two candidates first squared off in 2020, I should point out, Biden won the presidency with 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. So Trump, that is expected to win it by 310, by a larger margin. That's pretty incredible, guys. All right? That's pretty incredible. It doesn't surprise me. The Economist prediction model shows Trump has a 74% chance of winning. 74% compared to 26% for Joe Biden. So the Democrats' answer is to now go and steal all the Electoral College votes to convince the delegates that they can't actually vote for the person that their constituents told them to vote for? You realize how messy this is. They talk about democracy getting destroyed, and we're like, what's really happening? In other words, if Biden doesn't step down on his own, if they're going to make him do this, or if they're going to take it all the way to the convention, then you're going to have a little bit of a problem, okay? You really are. I mean, this really is, shall I say, in some ways, a weird kind of threat to this system. And the threat is coming not from Donald Trump, but from the Democrats themselves, which somehow doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Not if you've been paying attention for the last however many years. I think that really a lot of this started with Barack Obama. And I cite that particular time because that was a time when the country was supposed to come together, right? We elected our first black president in the United States of America. And I realize, there's still pockets of the country and bad people out there where there is racism and prejudice, etc. However, I'm going to tell you this. That is not who America is. No matter how much Barack Obama and now Joe Biden are trying to tell you that, it's not who we are. We are a meritocracy, and that comes from our capitalist foundation. That is who we are, no matter how much they want to, for political purposes, tell you otherwise. But I think that the deterioration began with Barack Obama. He is what gave birth, so to speak, to the partisanship that you see now. And it was his administration that started all the spying on reporters. Let's face it. I know two of them, Jim Rosen, who I worked with at Fox, and Cheryl Atkinson, who I worked with at CBS. They were both spied on by the Obama administration. You know, Trump just called these people out right to their face. Jim Acosta, I don't like you. I don't like your network. He didn't go and read Jim's emails behind the scenes. No, that was Biden territory. Seems to be, forgive me, I was going to say Obama territory. Seems to be Biden territory too. Just look what went down with Matt Taibbi, the IRS showing up on his doorstep the day he's supposed to testify to Congress ahead of those Twitter files. State Department deep into Twitter. This is bonker stuff. So in light of the fact that they have a very bad candidate, they want to change who's going to be on the top of the ticket. They couldn't figure this out ages ago. They couldn't figure it out in a proper time. They waited, they procrastinated, and now they're actually going to try and do some major pirouettes to try and fix things. And in doing so, they're actually threatening the system. But their problem is they got Biden's insurance policy, to use a Trump phrase. They got Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris can't win anything. She can't